Hi, I'm Craig Phillips and welcome to my tiling trade tips, where I'm going to be revealing my top DIY secrets to help you save money and time. On this episode, I'm going to be showing you how to grout quartz stone floor tiles using epoxy glitter grout. Now, epoxy grout is a two-part system that has to be mixed together. You'll see they're already measured out with the right quantities. You've got one section in here, and then you've also got some in here. Now, once this is completely mixed together, the chemicals are going to start reacting, so you've only got a certain amount of time to actually lay it in between the tiles. As for the amount of glitter that you have in your mix is completely your choice. So first of all, we're going to start to mix the two solutions together. I'm going to put some gloves on and a safety specs. Using my trowel, I'm going to scoop out all of this. It's really important that you make sure you scrape out all of the solution from the small tub, because these are equally measured to get the perfect mix. After a good 5 minutes of really stirring it hard, making sure you get every little bit of it off the bottom so it mixes up, and you should have a consistency looking like this. And now you're ready to start applying your glitter. Now, as for the amount of glitter you're going to use, it's entirely up to yourself. A small bag this size, we probably recommend about half of that with a 3 kilo bucket. I'm going to start to just sprinkle it in. So now you've mixed your glitter in, and if you're happy with the consistency and the amount of glitter in there, what I would suggest doing is get a couple of spare tiles and do a few test areas in between the joints to see what it looks like before you do your entire floor. But if you are happy with it, you're ready to start applying it. Using a grout float, just start to really press the epoxy in between each of the spaces in between the tiles. What you want to do is make sure you've filled in all the cavities in between there. Of course, the thicker your tiles are, the deeper the cavities are going to be. And depending on what size tile spaces that you use, you're going to have a wider or a narrower gap between your tiles. But once you've forced it down, making sure there's no air bubbles in there, you're going to get the edge of your float and try to press hard and scrape off the excess grout from either side of the tile. Now, the principles of applying this epoxy grout is very similar to a cement-based grout. Once it's mixed up, you make sure you get it in between all of the grooves. Once it starts to dry, using a wet cloth, you buff it around in a circular motion, making sure that you're pushing the grout deep into the grooves with no air pockets in there, and then of course wiping any excess off the tile itself. It's very important that you don't let any of it dry on the surface at all. So do check the manufacturer's instructions on drying times, because it may vary different times of the year. And I would always recommend don't do any more than a square metre at a time till you're familiar with the drying times. I hope you've enjoyed watching my tiling trade tips. If you want to watch any further tiling tips, maybe order some free tile samples, or just inquire about the vast range of products that Tile Mountain stock, please visit the website tilemountain.co.uk.